or conducting a classified order, questioning whether that order is lawful or whether they should follow through.
The Trump administration really wants to prosecute Democrats for wrong speech. So they're sending Karoline Leavitt out to make the case that soldiers are just mindless drones who must just follow orders, no matter what that order entails. And maybe I'm being unfair, but here are her comments in fuller context. Take a look.
They can't identify illegal orders because there are no illegal orders. But they were suggesting, again, to the 1.3 million active duty service members in the military today that if you think an order is illegal, you don't have to follow it. Actually, that's against the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It explicitly states, and I want to read this language precisely, that service members have a legal obligation under the US UCMJ to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. You can't have a soldier out on the battlefield or conducting a classified order, questioning whether that order is lawful or whether they should follow through. There must be a chain of command in our military.
You know, Karoline, we can pull from the UCMJ too. Under the UCMJ, a service member may be punished by court-martial for failure to obey any lawful general order or regulation. The UCMJ does not define what lawful means. The rules for courts-martial say that an order is lawful unless it is contrary to the Constitution, the laws of the United States, or lawful superior orders, or for some other reason is beyond the authority of the official issuing it. The rules go on to say that this inference does not apply to a patently illegal order, such as one that directs the commission of a crime. Finally, the rules say the lawfulness of an order is a question of law to be determined by the military judge. That determination normally can be made only after a service member refuses or obeys an order in a court-martial or a war crimes tribunal. Now, two examples of potentially illegal orders would be troops being involved in deportations, specifically if the destination country may torture them, like El Salvador or South Sudan. Another violation would be if Trump orders the military to use force against civilian protesters, which, absent an insurrection, violates the Posse Comitatus Act. Brett, they are trying to get so hung up on the Democrats not articulating something specifically in that video rather than just what it was. Like, it's just general instructions. Hey, reminder, you can do this. And even in their defense, you see it. Well, they must follow lawful orders. And then they usually in their messaging try to skirt around the fact that they're not explicitly acknowledging an illegal order coming down. And then they have a right and an obligation to refuse it. What do you think?
First of all, Posse Comitatus, it sounds like a euphemism for a sex act.
Thank you for your input. Okay, let's get on to our next.
That's all I was thinking. But secondly, like no one. This is just like a bubble of annoying little news in a larger story. This is the kind of thing that is that is annoying. It's stupid. No one knows. Like, for her to say, Karoline Leavitt sounds way too much like Nixon in the Frost Nixon interview, where he was like, if the president says it, then it's not illegal. That's what it is. It is. It just echoes and seems so much like if it comes from the president's very obvious, like, dictatorial and authoritarian instincts, that the goal of Trump is to have an America where where the state is him, the only laws that matters are the ones that come from his mouth. That's why they have stacked the Supreme Court to basically rubber stamp whatever Trump wants, whatever anyone right of center wants, and I just don't think that's real. Like, enough of us have seen like a few good men to know that there is some kind of way you can say that orders were illegal. And this is coming. What's funny to me is that there are two people on different sides of this story, two different kinds of people on two different sides of this story. There are the Trump side who are saying what should and shouldn't go within the military. And then there are people who have served in the military telling you what does and doesn't work in the military. And obviously you can't just have everybody disobey orders. But in this scenario, enough of Americans are being like, what Trump is asking people to do is horrible. Whether it's legal or not, it's horrible. I don't like to see all these horrible things happen. So if you get asked to do them, you should probably not. That's my basic take on it.
Yeah, and now we're seeing that this fight has expanded to potential criminal charges. We are going to hear from Karoline Leavitt once more on a different angle. Take a look.
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly. And I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out.
Mark Kelly has been all over the media, ripping the administration a new one over this. But before we hear from him, I want to play a snippet of that video that Leavitt said was intended to intimidate. Take a look.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. Your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
So it's instructions rather than intimidation. But what did Trump say in response? Seditious behavior, punishable by death. This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors, lock them up. President DJT. Now, Mark Kelly responded with this.
Well, I've had a missile blow up next to my airplane. I've been shot down, nearly shot down multiple times. I've flown a rocket ship into space 4 times, built by the lowest bidder. I'm not going to be silenced here. Is it stressful? I've been stressed by things more important than Donald Trump trying to intimidate me into shutting my mouth and not doing my job. He didn't like what I said. I'm going to show up for work every day, support the Constitution, do my job, hold this administration accountable, hold this president accountable when he is out of line. That's the responsibility of every U.S. senator and every member of Congress. He's not going to silence us.
I mean, I think that's the right attitude here for him. It's just just ignore it. Anybody that matters, anybody whose opinion matters will know them zeroing in on Mark Kelly is bogus. I saw a post earlier today. They were questioning the alignment of his medals on his uniform in one picture. It's like, okay, I don't care. Brett, what do you think?
Like, here's the thing is like Mark Kelly and company are like, don't do illegal stuff. And Trump's like mad about it. That's what it boils down to. He's like, they're like, hi, we were soldiers and many of us are retired, some of us, don't break the law. And Trump's like, what are they doing? We should investigate these people who said, don't break the law. Also, like, that's Mark Kelly running for president in the United States. That is a lane, he's in it. And he just is like, I went to space. You're just a space cadet. Like Donald Trump, President Bone Spurs versus people who served in the military. And what's at stake here? Non-specific, don't break the law stuff. They didn't put a name on it. And the fact that people are filling in the blanks with, well, they're probably talking about like going to Home Depot and locking up people who are trying to like, install a fence so they can feed their family. Like, don't do that. Don't do illegal stuff. They're filling in the blanks with things that are so obvious to us. This is what is just a bunch of symptoms that prove it looks really bad for the president of the United States right now. And he's flailing. And it's getting harder and harder for him to maintain that bravado, where at the same time, he's like cozying up to socialists in the White House. Like, I love this chapter. It's way overdue. Hopefully, Trump isn't able to get any wins in anytime soon. But like, I love that this is blown up in his face.
Yeah, it is a very odd time for this administration.